Hello everyone, and welcome to the fourth episode of Ddlc Booster Club. I accidentally deleted the footage for episode 4, so this one will be taking its place. To kind of explain what was happening in the last one, we simply just took Sayori to go get all of the materials for posters for the festival, I think, that was coming up. And from there, we kind of just did the normal thing and reading the poems. And yeah. Sorry again, that was probably like another 30 minutes or so, but didn't really miss much. Or you didn't really miss much. So I'm just gonna load what we had. Gonna ignore that. Alright. Oh man. Almost one here again. Don't worry, I just walked in too. Were you practicing piano again? Yeah. You must have a lot of determination. Starting this club and now picking up piano? Well, maybe not determination, but I guess passion? Remember that this club wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. And I'm super happy that you're all willing to get out here for the festival too. I can't wait for the festival. It's gonna be great. Huh? Aren't you complaining about it just yesterday, Natsuki? Well, yeah. I'm not talking about our part of the festival, but it's a whole day of school where we get to play and eat all kinds of delicious food. You sound a bit like Sayori all of a sudden. Monica, do they usually have fried squid? Squid? That's a pretty specific thing to look forward to. Oh, come on. Are you saying you don't like squid? You, of all people? I didn't say I didn't like it. Besides, what do you mean by you, of all people? Because it's right in your name. Monica? Huh? That's not how you say my name at all. Also, that joke makes no sense in translation. Oh, breaking the fourth wall, are we? Never mind. Let's just focus on our own event for now, okay? Fine. Your reactions aren't as funny as Yuri's or Sayori's anyway. Excuse me. Where is Sayori anyway? Oh, there you are. Sayori is sitting at his desk in the corner, looking down at nothing. I walk over to her. Hey, Sayori. I wave my hand in front of her face. Eh? You're spacing out again. Sorry. Don't mind me. You can go talk to everyone else. Huh? Is everything alright? Of course. Why wouldn't it be? It just feels like you're a little off. Sorry for assuming things. Jeez, you worry too much about me. I'm fine, see? Sayori shows me a big smile. Don't let me distract you from having fun with everyone else. Well, alright. If you say so. I worriedly glance at Sayori before turning back to everyone else. But the conversation's already dispersed with everyone at the back to their usual activities. Maybe I should ask Monica if she's noticed anything with Sayori recently. Since they've been preparing for the festival, they must be spending a lot of time together. I timidly approach Monica, who's shuffling through papers at her desk. Casey, what's up? Hey, this might sound a little strange, but have you noticed anything up with Sayori recently? Anything up with her? In what way do you mean? Maybe I'm reading into this a little too much, but she seems like a bit downcast today. Oh, you think so? I can't say I've noticed anything about her. Monica peers across the room at Sayori, who idly drags her rubber eraser up and down her desk. Maybe there's something on her mind. But I'm surprised I'm not the one asking you, Casey. You certainly know her a lot better than I do. Yeah, but she's never really like this. She's always talked to me about things that just bothered her, but this time when I asked, she was really dismissive. Sorry, I know it's not your problem. I just wanted to ask if you knew anything, so I'll drop it now. No. It's important to me too. I mean, I'm also friends with her, and I care about the well-being of my club members, you know? Maybe I'll try talking to her myself. Are you sure about that? She seemed like she wanted to be left alone. Are you sure? Maybe she was having a hard time bringing up with the person of interest. Person of interest? What do you mean by that? I'm saying that maybe the thing on her mind right now is you, Casey. Me? How on earth would you come to that conclusion? Well, I probably shouldn't say too much, but Sayori talks about you more than anything else, you know. She's been so much happier ever since you've joined the club. It's like an extra light was turned off inside of her. What? No way. Sayori's always like that. She's always been full of sunshine. It's not any different now that it's always been. You're so funny, Casey. Have you thought that maybe you've always seen her as so cheerful? Is that just how she is when she's around you? I said too much. I'm sorry, what do I know anyway? I didn't mean to jump to conclusions, so you should forget about what I said. I'll try to talk to her, so try not to think about it for now. Alright. Monica smiles meaningfully. I know she said to forget about it, but I already know that I won't be able to get her words out of my head. Monica stands up from her desk and walks across the room to where Sayori is sitting. I'll watch her kneel down next to Sayori's desk and gently talk to her. But she keeps getting her voice so quiet that I can't hear her from here. I sigh and sit myself down. I know Sayori told me not to worry about her and to have fun with everyone else, but that's impossible to do when she's behaving like this. Exactly how much do I care about her that I'm letting it weigh me down so much? Now it feels like I'm the only one behaving out of the ordinary. There's nothing I can do besides wait for Monica. Okay, everyone. After some time passes, Monica calls out to the club room. Why don't we share our poems now? Before I know it, everything's back to normal. Everyone goes to retrieve their poems, and I do the same. I make eye contact with Monica, and she smiles at me. I wonder what she was talking about with Sayori. Who should I show my poem to first? I think I'm going to go with Sayori first. This is your best one so far. It's really, really nice, Casey. Thanks. Sayori, you've been a little quiet today. Is everything alright? Of course. Everything's fine. Maybe I'm just a little tired today. Do you want a nap or something? No, that's silly. Don't worry about me, okay? I only want to see smiles on your face. Well, alright. Hey, Casey. I'm still a little surprised. I really thought you would try writing poems like the way Yuri does. Or even Natsuki. But in the end, yeah. I guess you're the one who likes us the most. Why? You don't want to get closer with everyone else? Oh, wait, of course I do. But that doesn't mean I need to try so hard to impress them. I still understand you the most, Sayori. I know you have sometimes to put up with me. And I have to sometimes put up with you. But we have a wavelength or something. And this is how the poem came out. Sometimes it feels like you're the only exciting thing in my life. So sometimes it's just easier to write when thinking of you. Sayori? No. Casey. I don't deserve this. You're too nice to me. Why are you doing this? Sayori has trouble keeping her voice steady all of a sudden. If you had fun with everyone else instead, this would be so much easier. Sayori. I glanced out of the room to make sure nobody had noticed this. Sayori, I've probably never said this before, but I don't understand what you're feeling right now. Tell me what will cheer you up. Sayori shakes her head. She sniffles and keeps shaking her head. Finally, she gathers herself and puts on a smile. It's nothing, Casey. It's just a little rain cloud. I'm sorry you had to see that. I promise it won't happen again. Just smile from everyone, okay? That's all that matters. Go and play with everyone else. I'm gonna go home a little bit early today. Sayori, tell Monica I wasn't feeling well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Before I can say anything else, Sayori cheerfully walks out of the classroom, humming to herself. Who should I show my room to next? Again, just going down the line. This one's alright. Alright? Well, yeah, it doesn't blow me away, but there's nothing I really hate about it. It's just not really my style. I mean, that's fine. Come to think of it, it kind of reminds me of Sayori's poem from yesterday. Huh? You think so? Yeah, well, I guess if you've been friends with her for so long, you might as well have the same wavelength. But you never struck me as her type. Sayori has a type all of a sudden? I don't know, but honestly, how can someone so fluffy spend so much time with someone like you? It's like she's dragging all around this dead weight. That was a little unnecessary. But think of it this way, if it weren't for me, she probably would have just flown away like letting go of a balloon. You could say we take care of each other in our own way. Whatever it is, I don't get it. Oh yeah, I guess I'm supposed to show you my poem. Here. I'll be your beach. Your mind is so full of troubles and fears that diminished your wonder over the years. But today I have a special place, a beach for us to go to. A shore reading beyond your sight, a sea that is sparkle with brilliant light. The walls in your mind so melt away before a sunny glow. I'll be the beach that washes away your worries. I'll be the beach that you daydream about each day. I'll be the beach that makes your heart leap in a way you thought of long ago. Let's bury your heavy thoughts in a pile of sand, bathe in sunbeams and hold my hand. Wash your insecurities in the salty sea, and let me see you shine. Let's leave your memories in the footprint trail, set all my windy sail. And remember the reasons you're wonderful when you press your lips to mine. I'll be the beach that washes your worries away. I'll be the beach you daydream about each day. I'll be the beach that makes your heart leap in a way you thought of had left you long ago. But if you let me be by your side, you'll own the beach, you won't escape. You'll learn to love yourself again. Yeah, I felt like I kept writing about negative things, so I want to write something that had a nice message for once. Besides, the beach is awesome. Kinda hard to write about anything negative about the beach. So you decided to write about the beach first and then came up with the message later? Yeah, well, it's only because of what happened yesterday. I mean, after Yuri and I realized we kind of wrote about the same thing, she wanted to pick a topic and have us both write about it, or whatever. You really can't see her doing that too. Making us write about a simple topic and trying to impress me by coming up with something all fancy. Well, it's not like I care. I just did it anyway. I mean, I guess mine ended up being kind of metaphorical too. But there's nothing wrong with doing that once in a while. At the very least, it was good practice. Well done, Casey. You've definitely improved your writing over the course of these few days. Has my advice been helpful to you? Yeah, definitely. I'm glad. Sharing your writing like this, it's a lot more fun and rewarding than I anticipated. I need to remember to thank Monica. I think we all felt a little awkward at first, but now it seems everyone is enjoying sharing their writing and seeing what others think. I guess I can't really disagree. I was afraid this whole thing would be a chore. But it's a great way for me to spend some personal time with all the girls in the club. But it's been fun getting to know everyone in the writing. And doing some writing myself. Well, have you learned anything about yourself, Casey? Huh? Well, you know how I like to say that writing is very personal, a way to get in touch with yourself. In the end, it doesn't matter if you're a good writer or a bad writer. And even my opinions are just opinions, you know? As always, I believe what's most important is exploring and discovering yourself. That's comforting. I'm kind of afraid to disappoint you in some way or another. Huh? Why me? Well, you're always sophisticated with your writing, having the most advice to share. Is that so? Yuri thinks for a good minute. That must be terrible. Huh? For me to become someone whose opinion is fearsome? How unlikable of me. Yuri, it's not as bad as you're making it sound in your head. I just meant that I respect your opinion. I see. I'm sorry I was overthinking come to those sorts of conclusions. I'm just a little too used to it. Overthinking? Being disliked. Yuri? What am I saying? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up. Let's move on. Alright. Do you want to share your poem now? Okay, here. Beach. A marvel millions of years in the making, where womb of earth chaotically meets the surface. Under clear blue sky and explosive bliss, beneath the grey rolling clouds of endless enigma, the easiest way to get lost, the easiest world to get lost in, is the one where everything can be found. But one can only build a sandcastle where the sand is wet. But where the sand is wet, the tide comes. Will it gently lick at the foundations until you give in? On a sudden wave to see you crashing down in the blink of an eye. Either way, the outcome is the same. And we still build castles. I stand where the foam wraps around my ankles, where my toes squish into the sand. The salty air is therapeutic. The breeze is gentle yet powerful. I sink my toes into the ultimate boundary lines, tempted by the foamy Ddlc. Turning back, I abandon my piece to the road at the shore, drift forward, and I return to Earth forevermore. I'm aware that the beach is kind of an insane thing to write about, but I did my best to take a metaphorical approach to it. Yeah, Natsuki already told me about it. She did? She didn't say anything weird, did she? She just wanted us to write about the same topic again. I suppose it's better to compare the differences in our writing styles or thought process. Anyway, it was her idea. Knowing her, it's no surprise she wanted to do something like that. She probably just wanted to show off. It's not like I have particular interest in her writing style. I just went with her request. But, well, I suppose it's not so bad to write about something simple on occasion. It can be refreshing, you know? It's good for me to calm my thoughts once in a while. Yeah, I think I agree. Thanks for sharing. Finally, Monica. Hi, Casey. Have you thought about what you wanted to submit to perform at the festival? Well, being in this club is one thing, but performing in front of a bunch of people? I'll have to give it more thought. Okay, no pressure. But whatever you do, I'm sure it'll turn out great. It would also make me happy to see. Anyway, let's look at today's poem. Sure. I let Monica take the poem I'm holding in my hands. It's kind of funny. How so? No, not the poem. I mean, it's funny how your poem and Sayori's poem have been getting more and more similar to each other's every day. I'm surprised you're so in sync with her. Then again, you've been spending a lot of time together lately, haven't you? I guess you could say that. Although we kind of grew up as best friends, I haven't been seeing her as much this past year. But since I joined the club, we've been spending a lot of time together. I see. That reminds me about how Sayori's been off a little today. Yeah, did she tell you something? Well... Casey, you haven't been flirting with her, have you? Of course not. I've been treating her like I always do. Alright, just making sure. I know how much you care about her. It would be terrible if something bad happened to her, so keep an eye on her. Sayori's been acting so much happier ever since you joined the club. What could have happened all of a sudden? Well, never mind. This really isn't the time to be talking about this. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you, alright? Alright. The Lady Who Knows Everything. An old tale that tells of a lady who wanders the earth. The lady who knows everything. A beautiful lady who has found every answer, all meaning, all purpose, all that was ever sought. And here I am, a feather, lost in the drift of a sky victim of the current winds. Day after day I search with little hope, knowing legends don't exist. But when all this has failed, while others have turned away, the legend that remains, the last star gleaming in the twilight sky. Until one day the wind ceases to blow, I fall, and I fall, and I fall, and I fall even more. Gentle as a feather, tries to quill, expressionless. But a hand catches me between the thumb and forefinger, the hand of a beautiful lady. I look in her eyes and find no end to her gaze. The lady who knows everything of what I am thinking. Before I can speak, she responds in a hollow voice. I have found every answer. What amount has nothing. There is no meaning. There is no purpose. And we seek only the impossible. I am not your legend. Your legend does not exist. And with a breath, she blows me back afloat, and I pick up a gust of wind. You know, I feel like I'm learning and looking for answers for the things that give life meaning. Not to get too philosophical or anything, but it was kind of on my mind, so that's what I wrote about. I see. I never really put too much thought into it. In a way, it's almost paradoxical. Because if we have answers, wouldn't the world start to lose its meaning? You know, there's one thing I noticed. It seems like everyone in this club prefers writing about things that are more sad than happy. Are you surprised? I mean, if everything was okay, we wouldn't really have anything to write about, would we? Humans aren't two-dimensional creatures. I think you know it better than anyone. You mean one-dimensional. Yeah, that. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Are you ever too shy to share your writing because you're afraid it's not good? It can be really disheartening to get into a loop responses but if you find some others who enjoy their writing, share them. Easier. Because of that, just telling your writing is good or okay or bad, but once you're focused on everything that went into it and the things you can work on, it's much more encouraging. That way will get you to want to improve it. It's almost like having your own little literature club, don't you think? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay, you three, we're all done sharing poems, right? Why don't we start figuring out... Hold on a second. Is it just me or did you say something strange right now? Huh? Something did sound a bit unusual. That's right. You deviated from your usual catchphrase when addressing the club. Catchphrase? I don't have a catchphrase. Jeez. Why is the mood so weird today? Look, even Yuri is leaning into it. Stagnating air is calm and foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen. In your books, maybe. Well, the only thing different is that Sayori isn't here. It seems you're right. Sayori always helps lighten the mood a bit, doesn't she? It's almost like everyone's balance is thrown off when she's not around. Where the heck did she run off to anyway? I thought she was just going to use the bathroom. Natsuki, please show some decency. Oh, come on. She wasn't actually feeling too well and went home early. Is that so? I hope she's alright. Seriously? Of all the times not to go home with her, you pick the time she's not feeling well? So much for you two being all lovey-dovey. No, first of all, stop misunderstanding my friendship with Sayori. And second, she's kind of been avoiding me today, so I didn't want to force it. That curious expression comes in Yuri of all people? Calm down, guys. I talked to her earlier and everything's fine. What did she say? Anyway, we need to figure out what the rest of the festival preparations, so let's decide what everyone will be doing this weekend. I already know what I'm doing. That's right, Natsuki will be making cupcakes. But we might need a lot of them in different flavors. Can you handle that all by yourself, Natsuki? Challenge accepted! And as for myself, I'm going to be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Sayori will be helping me design them. And as for Yuri, you can, guys, can you help me come up with something for Yuri?